Hey there, comic book fans. I'm back from the comic shop again today. A little low energy today because I had my second Pfizer shot yesterday, and I'm a little achy and tired. But anyway, I want to show you some comics before I take a little lie down. First, I'll show you my museum comic that I've got on top of my printer so I can look at the cover all week. And this one's signed. It turns out it's my second Ron Wilson cover in a row. Ron Wilson and Frank Giacoia. I just kind of pulled that out of my collection and said, oh, I'll look at that one for a while. I didn't realize I pulled the second Ron Wilson in a row. But what's interesting about this one, too, is rarely do you see a cover with that much yellow and white on it. I mean, all three characters have yellow in their costume, and that guy, what's his name? I don't know, Bushmaster, has yellow and white. So that's kind of interesting. You don't see that too often. And with the, three white word balloons, white logo, white UPC, lots of white and yellow in this one. Very, very different. But I kind of liked that one, so I've had it sitting out. Let's see, what else do we have? Comic shop news. By the way, I got 10 comics again this week. Another big week. Once all these miniseries end, I'll have a precipitous drop-off in all my comics. But here's the comic shop news. Milestone returns. I never bought Milestone the first time around, so it returning isn't that exciting to me, but guess they're back. Milestone. Static was their popular one, Hardware, and a few others. I said I never bought any Milestone back in the 90s, but I wasn't buying a lot of superhero stuff. And it's mostly numbers and covers, so this is one of their catalog-like issues. DC's digital print Milestone. Okay. Then let's see the 10 comics we got today. Well, hold on. Have a little sip of water. Got to stay hydrated. Last week we got Usagi Yojimbo 18. This week Usagi Yojimbo 19 comes out. I don't know what that's all about. The Master of Hebishima. I guess the done-in-one story. We had a 3-parter before. Now we get a done-in-one. Stan Sakai in hi-fi colors. It's tough to come up with more superlatives for Usagi Yojimbo. I've been reading it for 35 years now, and there's only A and A+ issues of Usagi Yojimbo, so it's kind of like, what do you say? Oh, this one's just an A. This one's an A+. But always good. Always enjoy reading it. Rabbit Bodyguard. And then we've got Tarna, issue number 5. Right? This is 5? Yeah, 5. Oh my goodness, the number is teeny tiny up there. Who can even read that? Last issue was interesting in that... oh, look, there's a woman wearing straps. Tarna, in reading these issues, she kind of strikes me as like a Silver Surfer level superhero. And she really got her butt kicked last issue. It was like she almost died. I was like, by this giant monster almost killed her. I was like, oh, that's interesting. So we'll see what happens with this one. It's mostly her going around protecting the guy. You get little bits and pieces of cultures out there and different planets, and her trying to save she's like concentrating on saving every big things rather than small things. So I don't think she cares that much if individual people dies. That's part of her personality. But interesting stuff from Heavy Metal. Then we get a new issue of Resonant. Yet another post-apocalyptic story I got going on. Some nice art about this father and the 3 kids have been like split up since issue 1. So the father's off on his own adventure, and the kids are kind of in their own world, trying to survive without their father. So there's a little... Paxton begins to lose himself, falling under the influence of the Spiral. That's some new town he found. With the help of Fern, he makes a grim discovery. The kids set in motion their plan to take back the family cabin. But what chance do they have against the fiendish preacher, the monstrous Maw, and his insatiable followers? Post-apocalyptic stuff. They're trying to survive and have a good life. Even though, like I don't. It's funny that they immediately split up the father and the kids, and they haven't been back together since. Then we've got Rain Like Hammers. This is number 4 of 5, I think this is. I'm really enjoying this series. Brandon Graham. Pump. Any Circumstance. Esculado. Twin Apple Supercharged. There's always stuff on the cover that's interesting here. A little key bar. Love Pump. I don't know what's going on there, but real interest. He always starts it right on the inside front cover, and it often ends it even ends right on the back cover. So there's a lot of comic in here for your $4.99. And issue 1 so far kind of stood on its own. Then issue 2 and 3 was a story, and we'll see how it ties into issue 4, because it looks like they're introducing new characters here. So I'm not sure how this whole miniseries is tying together, or if it is. We'll have to see, but I'm really enjoying that. I read a little Brandon Graham here or there, but this series is the first time I've really liked his stuff. Then we've got Radiant Black, issue number 3. Which I'm enjoying this. Know what's weird about this one? I keep thinking he's a teenager. I keep thinking he's Invincible's age, but he's really a guy who came home in his 30s to his hometown, because he's kind of drawn like a teenager. I mean, he's not drawn like a 35-year-old, really. I mean, wouldn't you think he's a teenager? But I'm enjoying the series. He finds this super... Like, that's a 35-year-old guy? I don't know. But, I'm reading this, and I keep thinking he's a teenager, keep forgetting he's not. But enjoy the first 2 issues. I'm sure he'll enjoy the third. It's a superhero story where he finds this orb that gives him this super suit, and he found someone else who's got a red super suit, and they ended up fighting at the end of last issue. He doesn't know what's going on with the super suit. He just found it. It's kind of like Greatest American Hero stuff. He and his buddy are trying to figure it out. Another post-apocalyptic comic. It's Americana. By Steve Scroach is writing and drawing this one. I like that cover. That was pretty cool. An American flag in the back. Oh, that's right. There's something to do with the security droid they ran into. Is like based after an old superhero or something. So we'll have to see. The art in this is really fun. Post-apocalyptic stuff. There's bad guys. There's good guys. There's a couple of guys roaming around the wasteland looking to do good stuff and avoid the bad guys. So far the plot isn't anything spectacular, but I really do enjoy the artwork and the storytelling. So then we've got James Stokoe, Orphan and the 5 Beasts, issue number 2. And this is one I really liked the first issue for the artwork, but the story wasn't so spectacular. The story is, a girl was trained by Master. Now she has to go out and hunt down these 5 beasts who the Master trained years ago, and they've turned bad. And the artwork is just a lot of fun. It's this very busy, noodly, outsider artwork kind of stuff. And like I said, lots of speed lines in this. And I enjoy the visual storytelling a whole lot. I might not have enjoyed the plot as much, but the visual storytelling was excellent. Then I'm always glad Monstrous has been really good the last year or so. Since the big war began and all sorts of stuff is happening. I've really enjoyed Monstrous. There's your recap of all the characters and what's going on. It's just been a lot of fun. Things have been coming together. Things have been happening. There's one of the empresses who's part wolf. There's one of the old gods with his giant eye looking at you. Just really good visuals. Really interesting sort of fantasy story about this war between people and magic users and half-animal people and this and that and things that live deep in the ocean. And there's this whole fantasy world here. And then we've got Crimson Flower, issue number 4. I think this one's also going to number 5. Once again, this is one I'm really enjoying the visuals on. The story itself is fairly simple. Matt Kint is writing the stories. Matt Lesniewski is drawing them. And it's just a story of a girl who saw her father assassinated when she was a child. And now she's hunting down the assassins as she's an adult. And there's not much more to the story but that. There's assassins, but the the artwork is so visually clever and interesting, and he does his own sort of, once again, this kind of outsider artwork sort of thing where he goes his own way with a lot of stuff. And a lot of the drawing is sort of, underground comics influenced, if nothing else. So it's really, really enjoyed the first 3 issues of this. I'm sure I'll like that one. Like I said, 5 issues this is going. So then the last one for the week is Ha Ha, issue number 3, is this? Issue number 4, pardon me. I think this is going 6 issues also. You'll see why my pull list is going to fall off a cliff in the middle of the summer sometime. And each issue is a different artist. I really liked last issue, which was a story of a mime. I don't know who was the artist this time. Horwath? What's his name? Patrick Horvath. There we go. W. Maxwell Prince, the Ice Cream Man writer, is the writer of this. He's got a different artist every issue and a different story every issue, based somehow around clowns, mimes, humor, whatever. And like I said, I really enjoyed last issue about this mime who makes a robot friend. That was good stuff. All right, there's all 10. Now let me show you a little of my artwork. What do I got back here? Oh, by the way, there's my, if you hadn't seen my video for yesterday, there's my Greta Gerwig jacket I now am hanging up for now on my bookcase. And here is, what's the name of this one? Metal Length. I have a hard time saying metal length. I gotta be really careful with it. But this is I just did this one last weekend with, what is it, 4 figures in it? We got some sort of Egyptian woman, I don't know, about flapper. We got a guy here with flaming hair. We got one of my Mod Man figures. All sorts of stuff on that one. See, I got my drawing clips on it. Once again, used all sorts of textures and patterns in this one. I like her top there with the whatever those cat's ears and eyes looking at you, kind of. The black sun in the background. I like this. I like the way this busted brush, dry brush technique came out. Man, between these two right here, I got a lot of different gray stuff going on the last 2 weeks. I kind of moved away from my portrait mode stuff, moved into these very highly textured figures and landscape stuff. I've been having fun doing that. Now I want to make another portrait-like one. But anyway, there's some art, there's some comics. I'm going to go have a lie down, and you guys have a good week out there.